Assalamu alaikum students. How are you all? Hope so you all will be fine. Today we are going to start our second lecture for subject biology, and the chapter name is nutrition. In our previous lecture we have talked about autotrophic, heterotrophic organism and micronutrient and macronutrients. So today we are going to discuss about roles of nitrogen and magnesium, that what is the role of nitrogen and magnesium in plants, how nitrogen and magnesium will be beneficial for plants, and what will happen if we exceed or will decrease the amount of nitrogen and magnesium in plants. So start our lecture. Plants get nitrogen in form of nitrates. Firstly, the main source of nitrogen and nitrate is in our atmosphere, and second is in the soil. Nitrogen is a major component of protein. Nitrogen contains protein, hormones. All protein are actually amino acids. Hormones, which are specifically released or secretion released by our body organs, and chlorophyll, green part of plant. Vitamins, which are extra nutrients for body of plants or animals. And enzymes, essential for plant life. Enzymes are actually anything that start or speed up chemical reaction. Actually all enzymes are protein in nature. So plants get nitrogen in form of nitrates, and nitrogen contain many useful things like protein, hormones, chlorophyll, vitamins, and enzymes that are essential, mean important, vital for plant life. In the absence of all these things, plant will not show their proper growth or proper functioning. Nitrogen metabolism, like the process of nitrogen, phenomena of nitrogen is major factor, is the main factor, main thing, main key in stem and leaf growth. Like if nitrogen is not present in plant in proper quantity, then the stem and leaf will not show its proper growth, they will show abnormalities. So too much nitrogen can definitely delay flowering and fruiting. If we have provide excess amount of nitrogen in plants, then the flowers and the fruit of the plant will be delayed, it will be late as time. Deficiencies mean decreasing of nitrogen can reduce yields, can yellowing of leaves, and stunt growth. Stunt mean stopping of growth. If we have made many less quantity of nitrogen to plants, then they will come to a state when the plant's leaves become yellowish colors, and then its stunt growth, like growth will be stopped and plant will not show other growth. So magnesium is a structure. Now we have talked about nitrogen. Now we will discuss about magnesium in plants. Magnesium is a structural component of chlorophyll. Like if magnesium is missing in plants, then they will not show the process of chlorophyll, and the structure of plant will become to a damaged state. It is also necessary for functioning of plant enzyme to produce carbohydrates, sugar, and fats. If magnesium is missing in plants, if the plant has deficiency of magnesium, then the plants will fail to produce the carbohydrates, sugar, and fats. It is used for fruit and nut formation and essential for germination of seed. If we want to make plant growth for more times, and we want to reproduce plants from their seeds, and we want to germination of seeds, spotting of seed, then it is necessary magnesium in proper quantity. So it is used in fruit for better quantity of fruit, and for nut formation in plants. Deficiency of magnesium, less giving of magnesium to plants, causes yellowing and wilting of leaf. Wilting of leaf means damaging of leaf, and the leaves turn to yellowish. Assalamu alaikum students, how are you all? Hope so you all will be fine. Today we are going to start our second lecture for subject biology, and chapter name is coordination and control. In our previous lecture we have learned about the definition of coordination and control, and we have read two mechanisms and types of coordination. First was nervous coordination, and second was chemical coordination. And we have read that animals have both type of coordination, nervous and chemical, but in plants there is only chemical coordination. So we will start our lecture from coordinated action. Coordinated action mean how the first process is related to last one, and how message is transferred from first to other, and then other to next one, and the whole chain is started. So stimuli, what happen when we touch a snail? How does we feel when we touch a snail? We definitely feel irritation, and we might have seen the flower of sunflower plant moving toward the sun. This is because They are attracted toward the sun because they show the mechanism of phototactism, like the plants which move in the direction of sun as they receive stimuli from the sun. That's why they move toward the sun. So what could be the reason for all this? All the reason is stimuli. They gain some signal from that part and then move in that direction. Touch, light, etc. all are factors that can bring about certain responses in living organism. Like when we touch a hot thing like a hot fry pan, then we must and definitely pull our hand backward because it is the stimuli, it is the receptor that tells us that this is something that you should not touch, and that's the sense of touch. These factors are called stimuli. Such type of factor that bring certain changes and responses output in human beings or any other organism, these are called stimuli. We can define a stimulus as any change in environment. They may be external, they may be internal. External mean outer and internal mean inner. In word internal, in you can remember it as a tip, like in, inner, external, outer. So any change that may be in our external environment or in our internal environment may definitely bring something changes in any response, that is called stimuli. More example of stimuli are heat, cold, pressure, sound waves, presence of chemicals, microbial infection. Other is receptor. Stimuli are detected by special organ. There are special organ in our body that detect the stimuli. First, stimuli send message to receptor, and receptor are that parts of our body that detect something change, tissues or cell of body. For example, sound waves are detected definitely by our ears. Light is detected by eyes because eyes have sense of light to detect that either light is of which direction and which sense. Like some like if you talk about laser light, then definitely it is not good for our eyes. So these all tells about the detection of things. Chemicals in air are detected by our nose and so on. Like if you taste something, then your tongue must be helpful for you, that is either a taste is good or bad, sour or sweet. The organs or the body parts, tissues or cells which are specifically built to detect particular type of stimuli or called receptor. Receptor is a word derived from receiving. Those organ or those body parts which receive message from stimuli are called receptor. Like coordinators, the coordinator will act a coordination between stimuli and receptor and then tell body part what thing you have to do and what response you have to show. These are the organs that receive information and from receptor and send message to particular organ for proper action. Like if you have touch a hot thing, then your brain will send message to the part of your fingertips that you have to pull your hand back. That is the function of coordination. In nervous coordination, when we talk about nerves or neurons in our body, in nervous coordination, brain and spinal cord are coordinators. They act as a receptor and they act as a link between two things, between stimuli and receptor and then effectors. So they receive information and send message through neurons in form of nerve impulses. On other hand, in chemical coordination, if we talk about physical coordination, then we have read about the internal coordination, then we have read that brain and spinal cord are coordinator. But if we talk about in chemical coordination, it include various endo mean inside. Endocrine glands play a role of coordinator. They are actually secretion. They receive information in form of various mean many chemicals and send message by secreting particle hormone in blood. If we talk about nervous coordination, then there are two type of things that act as coordinator. First one is brain and second one is spinal cord. But if we talk about chemical coordination, the process which is done by chemicals, then we have discussed about endocrine glands. Endocrine glands actually secreted when we have to coordinate between glands. Glands are actually secretion, so they receive information in form of various chemicals, not in the form of neurons or nerves, and send message by secreting particular hormone in blood. Like if your body has start or stop growth hormone, then these glands will send message in form of chemicals that there must be needed proper growth hormone for proper functioning and proper growth of body. So next one is effector. Effector will be actually the process through which body parts will receive message from coordinators and show the final response. These are parts of body which receive message from coordinators and produce particular responses, produce particular output, that what type of reaction we have to show in this effect in response of coordinators. In nervous coordination, neurons carry message from one coordinator, like we have talked about brain and spinal cord, to muscle and glands, which act as effector, which will show the response. In chemical coordination, particular hormones carry message from coordinators like endocrine gland to particular targeted tissue, like which is the final target, what final response you have and your body organs have to show, which act as effector. Effectors, they show effect of something, like the sunflower move in the direction of sun, so that is the response of sunflower towards the sun. So for some hormones, nephron act as effector. Nephron is actually functional unit of kidney. So similarly, bones and liver act as effector for many hormones. Next one is response. On receiving the message from coordinators, they effect perform action. The effector perform action by receiving the message from the previous one, that is effectors. So the action is response. For example, pulling our hand away from something very hot and movement of flower sunflower toward the light are responses. These two things are the responses of our body or the responses of plants towards the specific stimuli. Usually nervous coordination produce immediate, sudden, automatic reaction but short living response, like which are very short duration, while chemical coordination produce slow but long living process responses, like the process which is shown by chemical coordination will be long lasting, but the process showing by nerves or neurons will be immediate but for short time. So that was our lecture for today. Take care of yourself. Allah Hafiz.